What's going on? In this video, I want to talk about healthcare in America compared to healthcare in other countries. Um, I had a talk with my sister about universal healthcare, and my sister, I asked her, I hear stories from people from other countries saying that universal health care is bad and healthcare in America is good. And my sister told me this. Yeah, they're complaining about the healthcare is bad because the taxes are very high and they're paying a lot in taxes and it takes a huge chunk out of their paychecks, and that's why they're complaining about. I mean, a guy from Canada by the name of Pothead Steve told me that the healthcare in Canada is just so bad. I mean, he said that the healthcare will make children mentally retarded, and he said he's not insured and he doesn't have healthcare at all. And yeah, he doesn't have healthcare at all. And he said that doctors are forced at gunpoint to treat you. And he said that he dubbed me as a Westerner who doesn't have any morals, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, it's kind of hard to find someone who can back me up on this. Basically, I'm on my own on this, just making these videos. I mean, no responses at all. I'm just all by myself. Um, can't ask anybody to drop any comments on this because nobody's not gonna comment at all. Yeah, yeah, going back to what Pothead Steve said to me about healthcare in Canada. Um, he said that children are born mentally retarded, and Canadians are the most unhealthy people in the world. About Canadians being unhealthy, I mean, yeah, you got some people who don't care about their health and they just eat whatever they want, and you got people who care about their health, who want to eat healthy, who want to eat right and exercise more, and and try not to be overweight, and by not trying to gain weight and being overweight. No, yeah, but yeah, well, I have a niece who was born with water on her brain, and the water in the water was going to affect her brain and make her mildly retarded. The doctor, I mean, the hospital that she was born at, it was a hospital in Marshall, Texas. I mean, the hospital that she was born at, I mean, they didn't detect the water on her brain quick enough. So they didn't detect it, and the water got onto her brain, and made her chemically imbalanced and gave her mild mental retardation. So basically, today, she's a 20-something-year-old who's running around acting like a child. So yeah, and that is from the healthcare here in America. Um, I don't think the healthcare in countries like in Canada, the UK, and countries countries in Europe and Australia and New Zealand, like I don't know these, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Like really, I don't know. I mean, Pothead Steve said that I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess when it comes to healthcare, um, I'm not poorly traveled. I mean, I traveled to a lot of countries. I mean, you can see these flags that I required that I bought at souvenir shops in these countries. Like not the U.S. flag, but the other three flags. I mean, it shows that I've been to different countries and I've been overseas. I mean, I'm poorly traveled. Man, maybe because I was on a cruise ship, but I need to spend time in a country and see how it is there. But actually, I went to souvenir shops and I saw how expensive things are. I mean, I went to some souvenir shops in Victoria, British Columbia, in Canada, and the prices were pretty high, and they were. I saved a lot. Well, I saved a lot of money before. I saved a lot of money. Had a lot of money on my. I had a lot of money on me, and I had enough to buy whatever I want. And I believe in saving money. And Pothead Steve dubbed me as I don't have any morals and I'm reckless with my money and something like that. Well, he doesn't know anything about me. I believe in saving my money, and I do. I don't believe in throwing my money away on. I don't believe in throwing my money away. I mean, I went to Europe and I didn't spend that much money. I mean, I came back. I still had a lot of money on me. I did. I mean, I spent some money, but I didn't spend a lot. I still have some on me. And yeah, going back to yeah, and yeah, the taxes are high in countries with universal health care. I mean, yeah, the taxes are extremely high, and they are. But yeah, and my dad told me about this. He said there's a price to pay taxes. Well, I know about the taxes. I do. And the tax thing always come up a lot. I mean, don't people know from other countries that the United States is the most expensive country in the world? And a lot of them say that America's great. America's the greatest country in the world, like, and it's not. I mean, I'm having a hard time trying to find a job, and I live in a state with right to work. I mean, in right to work states, I mean, you make less, you don't get. You don't. You can't. You don't get health care at all. The employer on your job, your boss, will treat you any way that they want to. They will treat you any way that they want, and right to work is giving them that freedom. Basically, just to act like a bunch of idiots and treat you like crap. And I experienced this on my job. I experienced this on the job that I had. So yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess I don't have a clue. But I guess I don't have a clue. But don't get me wrong. In foreign countries, there's some people who like the quality of life in their countries, and they got some who don't like it. And the ones who don't like it, they're just heartless. They're greedy. They just want everything. There's a saying I heard from Bernie Sanders. He said this: "You can't have it all, and these people can't have it all." I mean, and Pothead Steve, he just some conservative thinking person who just want everything. He want everything. He doesn't want to pay his fair share. He just want to keep every single penny that he wants. Penny that he keep every single penny that he has. And he has this same mentality as the greedy, wealthy corporate elite here in America, greedy rich people who want everything. I mean, all they care about is money. Money, money, money. That's all they care about. For some reason, if you bring in universal health care or a decent high minimum wage and unions, they look at that as, oh, you're stealing from people. You're stealing from people. You're holding doctors at gunpoint over health care and all this crap. It's just a bunch of toxic conservative nonsense from people, and I'm just sick of politics anyway, because politics just make you just depressed and miserable. And guys like Doc G, who I sub to, and well, he doesn't want to have anything to do with politics at all. And you know what? I need to take a page out of his playbook and don't want to have anything to do with it either. Because, what's the point of voting here in America? What's the point? Nothing's not going to happen. I mean, this country just falling apart and just crumbling because you got a bunch of politicians who don't want to do anything, who don't want to do anything for the country. All they want to do is bicker and fight and argue. And in these presidential debates, they just more like game shows than just a place where you can talk civil about ideas and what you want to bring to the table to make the country better. Yeah. Then you got people. Then you got ignorant, clueless, poor people here in America. I mean, these people. Well, I'm not gonna call them names, but my dad dubbed these people as rednecks and hicks who voted for Donald Trump. And these people, they just voted for him because they're desperate. They want change. They want something to help their country. I mean, people in West Virginia don't want to keep the coal mines. I'm not gonna bash these people. They just don't know any better. I mean, you got other people in the country who look at voting as a waste of time. I was friends with a guy named Mario Becerra. I used to work with him at TJ Maxx, and I worked with him at Walmart. And he has a girlfriend, and he has 2 daughters. I'm not friends with him anymore because he gave me so much bad advice and just made me look like a fool. So I had to end the friendship with him. I mean, he wasn't much of a friend at all, and he talked about voting is a waste of time. And he said this: I'm not going to vote for no president. They're not going to do nothing for me. And this is very similar to a guy on YouTube. He calls himself the Future King. And he talks about this. And he said this: I'm not going to vote for no president. They're not going to do nothing for me. And, both of these guys are Hispanic, Mexican. Yeah, I mean, then you got the prison industrial complex. I mean, you got more people in prison than any other country. I mean, nearly half of the population in America is in prisons. What else you got? An extremely high crime rate. People in Flint, Michigan have lead in their water. People in southern states like Mississippi and Alabama have feces in their water. I mean, and I went to Louisiana, did a video in front of the DeSoto Parish Courthouse in Mansfield, Louisiana. I mean, Louisiana is a very poor state. I mean, people don't make a lot there. I mean, and the people there are hard workers. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I heard. They're hard workers and they make less. They don't make nothing at all. They're just basically busting their asses to make ends meet. And the healthcare there is very bad. It's broken. I mean, and they got a governor. What's his name? John Bel Edwards. I think that's what his name is. I don't. I mean, I haven't looked up on this guy. It seems to me like I think he's not doing enough. I mean, I think he's not doing anything. I mean, I think he's not repairing the damage that Bobby Jindal did to the state. Yeah. So what else is messed up in America? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Pothead Steve want to say America's the greatest country on earth. Okay. Back in 2005, when Hurricane Katrina destroyed New Orleans, I mean, the federal government did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you got the news media dubbing all black people who live in New Orleans as refugees. They're not refugees. They're taxpayers. They're U.S. taxpayers. They're citizens of New Orleans. Why in the world are you calling them refugees? I mean, that is so stupid. Um, yeah, yeah. Then in America, I mean, you got people who are just antisocial, standoffish, cliquish. They don't want to have anything to do with you. They don't want to talk to you. I mean, they're full of fear, paranoia. They think people are out to get them. I mean, they're unfriendly. And I watched a video from one of Winston Wu's friends. Winston Wu's friends. It was a guy that was walking down the street in some city in America. I think I said this in a previous video. And he was saying hi to the women. He was saying, "Hey, it's a nice day outside." The women just ignored him. They just walked by him like he just didn't exist. You know. Yeah, a lot of women in America don't pay me any attention at all. At all. Um, yeah, this country's a mess, really. You know, and what's so strange about people in America, like of all the problems in that here in this country, people just sit back and just accept it. They won't say a word about it, and they just talk about other things. This silliness and nonsense. Some won't say anything at all. Some just sit there and just be silent. I mean, people in America, they act like they act like someone who just sits back and just watch a grown man rape a little girl, and they just sit back and they don't say anything. I mean, that's what people in America are like. And I heard my sister talk about killing some pedophile if he molests if he molests some child, but she won't do that but her and a bunch of Americans don't want to do that to a bunch of politicians who bicker and fight. Some of them, yeah, who bicker and fight. A lot of them who are a bunch of crooks, thugs, and liars, and just rotten and heartless and conceited to the core. She won't talk about going up and killing them and putting a foot up their asses. A lot of Americans, including my sister, won't do that. Yeah. And you got people in the UK who sees this and they're just shocked and they say stuff like this. Well, you ain't marching in the street. I mean, your government is screwing you left and right. Yeah. And there's a guy by the name of Truth Seeker 6666. He lives in the United Kingdom. And I watched a healthcare video by him, and he talked about how the NHS is, in his words, is absolutely brilliant. He said, you know, we don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about paying for this, paying for my health care. I mean, it's free of charge. I mean, you Americans look at what we have and say it doesn't work. And he said this, to every American on this video. He said this: your government is lying to you, fucking lying to you. Your government is one of the biggest. Your government is the biggest bunch of scumbags on the planet. Meaning that they're lying to a lot of Americans and keeping Americans in the dark about universal health care and dubbing it as socialism and communists and all this crap. I hear this word all the time: socialism, communism, and all this garbage. Like all this garbage. To me it's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, here's some truth about healthcare in America. Um, there's this guy that my dad was who went to this church that my dad used to be pastor of. Um, he got messed up and he was taken to the emergency room at some hospital, and the hospital screwed him up, and now he's running. Now he's walking around homeless. He look like a homeless bum, and he has a place to live, and he's walking around with suitcases on the sidewalks. And he's walking around talking to himself. I think that has something to do with some surgery he has gotten that messed him up. Mm. I don't think that will happen in other countries, but you know, I'm probably gonna say that I'm wrong on this. Yeah. Uh, uh, um, um, you know what? I said this before. I am not going to this country ever again. I'm not setting foot in this country again at all. I'm not going back at all. Some of these people, I got stabbed in the back by people in this country. I got lied to, talked down, treated like dirt, ignored. No, no way. I'm staying. Yeah. You know, I'm not going back to this country ever again. Screw it. Ugh. Um, kind of mixed up on this country, so I don't know. Yeah, I might go there. Uh, Other countries in Europe, yeah. Uh, well, yeah. I'm just gonna say this. I mean, when it comes to healthcare and quality of living, I mean, those people in those other countries, they just don't know how good they have it. They just don't. I'm not gonna say all of them like what they have. Some like it, some don't. It is what it is. But I'm alone on this. I'm on my own on this. It's funny. If I say the wrong thing, somebody will comment. But if I speak the truth, no replies, nothing. I think I made a mistake. I'm starting this YouTube channel. I got another YouTube channel. It's not full of drama and bullshit like this one. Well, yeah. So that's all I gotta say in this video. All right.